Hi, I'm Kristen, and this is Scrap Fabric Love, and welcome to day one of Quiltmas. Quiltmas is a collaboration between 12 YouTubers, quilty YouTubers, and we're all making a Christmas quilted something. Most of us are making quilts, but a few people might be making something else. But basically everything we make over the course of the 12 videos you're gonna see from today until the 12th of December, you could win. So all the details of how you can win what we make will be at the end of the video and in the description box underneath. If you've watched it in previous years, we're running it a tiny bit different this year. So Donna, who organized it last year, she's still taking part, so don't worry, you're gonna see her, but she wasn't able to organize it. So we started a little bit late this year. So we decided to forgo the bit where we send each other the same fabric. I think in a previous year when I wasn't doing it, it was like an ugly fabric quilt and everyone was supposed to send ugly Christmas fabric. And last year we were sending fat quarters of Christmas fabric all over the globe because myself and a couple of the other creators are in the UK and then a bunch are in the US. So anyway, it was a lot of postage and kind of waiting for fabric. So we decided this year to not do that part and instead do a theme that everybody has to incorporate somehow in their quilt. And the theme is stars. And then everybody was drawn randomly like a color.
The color each of us was assigned is also our secret word. So we don't actually have to use the color in the quilt, although I did set myself the challenge that I was going to use the color in whatever quilt I made, which maybe I shouldn't have committed myself to doing because...
So I got red. My least favorite quilt color probably ever, probably because of the fear that it's going to run, but also it's just not one of my go-tos. I don't normally go for red, but it is a Christmas quilt, so fairly easy to incorporate red. So I probably got off easier than some. So anyway, I had a little think about that and I came up with what I think is a super simple quilt pattern that you can follow as well if you want to make a quick Christmas quilt in time for Christmas. It was so quick, in fact, that I made two. If you haven't seen my channel before, this happens a lot. I struggle with sticking with one thing and I often have to do two variations of something and it's a problem. But anyway, but this time it wasn't my fault. This time my son, when I told him what I was doing, he was like, "But you made a Christmas quilt last year and we didn't keep that one either." Because last year was my first ever Christmas quilt I'd ever made and I sent it away because somebody won it, right? And someone's gonna win the one this year too. And he was like, "When do we get a Christmas quilt?" So this year I'm making two. So one with the red and the stars that I need to do for the rules of Quiltmas, and one with a little bit of variety on that, different take on that, and we're gonna keep it. Anyways, the pattern though for the quilts is the same, and it's a free pattern on my website, so the link for that is in the description box of the video. But for now, why don't we get going with how I made my two quilts.
So the first step in making my two quilts was a bit of stash diving. If you're new to the channel, I generally buy my fabric as leftovers and scraps from other people on eBay or in other places. I have a whole video about how I buy my fabric. I also have other videos about how I store them and why they're rolled up like this. People usually ask. There is a video. Anyways, what I'm doing is pulling out kind of anything for the two color groupings of the quilts that I'm looking at. So the Quiltmas one is going to be red, green, and white, sort of traditional Christmas colors. And the one we're going to keep at home is going to be brighter, more like kid-friendly kind of colors, I guess, for the one we're going to keep. So what this pattern is really good for, if you have your fabric more well organized than me, is leftover layer cake squares in kind of Christmassy prints or colors. And 5-inch charm pack squares would also be good, because what we need is 36 10-inch squares for the background in a variety of prints. We don't want just one print. And 12 5-inch squares for the applique. So again, all the details of how to divide that all up is on the blog post and the links in the description. But all I'm doing here is separating those two piles of colors as an initial sort. And I probably won't use all of the fabrics I'm putting on in my two piles, but that's how I'm kind of starting my process. I'm also, as you can see, pulling a lot of jelly roll strips. So I found that rather than having all big pieces, I had a lot of Christmassy jelly roll strips from somewhere. So you'll see in the next bit that I'm going to try and get creative with those and piece some of those into the 10-inch squares that we need. So consider it a make it work moment, I guess. Just get whatever scraps you have and figure out how many 10-inch squares you can cut or pull, and we'll go from there. So because I seem to have so many jelly roll strips in the Quiltmassy colors that I wanted to use, I decided to sew strip sets of 5 jelly roll strips that I would then cut down into 10-inch squares. So if you've got full length strips, if you create them into these strip sets, you can cut 4 10-inch squares from them. So you can get a good variety depending on the amount of jelly roll strips that you have. But again, you don't need to do this part. This was me just trying to make up the numbers for my 10-inch background squares. So you'll see with the brighter version of the quilt that I'm going to show you later, I didn't do any of this. There's no strip sets. So that was just because this is what I had in the colors I wanted to use for this quilt. So next was just to play around with the layout of the quilt. So I used my floor, which was messy with other stuff, so sorry that you can see my clutter around it. But basically, I laid it out trying to make sure that the fabrics that match each other don't touch each other. I had 6 groups of 4 matching squares in the Christmassy themed quilt, and then the rest of the squares were made up of just a variety of 10-inch squares, either leftover layer cake squares or just cut from larger scraps. And in the kid-friendly, brighter version, I think I had 5 groups of 4 matching squares, and then the rest were all random layer cake pulls and things like that. So you can kind of have a play with how many matching squares you have or don't have. It's good to have a mix of solids and prints, and it's good to have at least some of the fabrics matching each other to make your quilt cohesive, but they certainly don't all need to. Here is another mock-up just to demonstrate. So this one has 6 sets of 4 matching fabrics and the rest random. You could, of course, do 9 sets of 4 matching if you have that many, but you could also probably use a little less that match if you just don't have that much. And these graphics are all on my blog post if you need to kind of refer to how many you want to match and where you want to place them in the layout of the quilt. And I took this photo. I'd already made a little start on the applique, so let's start talking about that bit now.
Right, so next step to add some Christmassy flavor to these quilts, because right now they're just basically 10-inch squares. I'm going to cut some Christmassy shapes from 2 AccuQuilt dies that I have. So if you've not seen the channel before, I love my AccuQuilt. I have various videos reviewing the actual cutters, but also quite a few quilts where I'm using the AccuQuilt dies, and no different this year. So last year I used this holiday medley die with the holly leaves and the berries, and this year I'm using the same die, but I'm going to use the Christmas trees and the snowflakes. And then of course I have to add the stars element and I have a star die, so I'm going to use the biggest star on this one. And I will put the links to these dies in the video description if you're interested in those. But in order to get ready for this, what I've done is prepped a variety of fabric. So this is for both quilts, with some double-sided fusible so that I can just iron it in place. And so I've got some whites and greens and reds, and that's probably more for the traditional one. And then I've got some pinks and some blues for the more brighter colored Christmas quilt version. So there's 36 squares in each quilt top. I don't want an element in each one. I just want them sort of peppered around.
So I cut 12 shapes for each quilt. If you're using the same shapes that I am, then the size of scraps you need are basically 5-inch square. So I just used a mixture of scraps of different sizes and cut from that. But if you had charm pack squares, you could use that as well. I put 2 shapes per row in either direction, and I tried to make them look a little bit scattered around. So as I said, I cut a mixture of those 3 shapes. If you don't have an AccuQuilt, that's fine. You can also use any other Christmas themed templates you might have and cut out the same sort of size shape. And also on the bright quilt, I substituted out 2 shapes for some fussy cut, brightly colored Christmas trees that I just appliqued on top of 2 of the squares. So you'll see those when you see that finished quilt top at the end. So you can play around with what you want the applique to be. this whole idea was kind of inspired by some of those knitted Christmas blankets. I'll show you a picture so you can see what I mean. And I just wanted to have that flavor of there being the variety of the fabrics and the variety of the applique as well. So because I wanted all that variety, I also added some fleece actually as some of my 10-inch squares. So the one that I'm quilting on just there, that red tartan, that is fleece. It was a remnant I bought. It had been misprinted. So there is a bit of the misprint of the fabric in the quilt. I'll show you later. But anyway, I wanted to mimic the kind of tartan that's in that in the quilting. So this is me doing horizontal straight lines with the channel locks on, and I'm using the ruler for the star and just kind of pushing the long arm around the tree without taking the channel locks off. That was a mistake. I wouldn't do that again. It ended up with a little bit of messy applique. If you want your applique to be super neat, I would either do it before you go to quilt it, you know, zigzag stitch, blanket stitch, whatever your favorite applique is, or I would do what I did on the second pass. So in order to get to the sort of plaid look that I wanted, I did all the lines in one direction, then took the whole quilt off of the frame and flipped it around the other way so that I could do the lines going, well, I mean, they're still horizontal, but like they'll look, some of the lines look vertical, some look horizontal because I flipped the quilt around. Does that make sense? Anyway, so it's making a kind of a plaid tartan kind of thing with the lines. And when I did it this time, what I decided to do was actually go ahead and take those channel locks off when I got to the applique shapes so that I could freely quilt around them rather than be pushing them around like I was the first time. It was silly. I thought I was saving myself a job, but it really didn't work out. So on the second time around, I just took the channel locks off once I got to a shape and went round and round and round it and did that sort of whole style choice thing where the lines are messy, but because we've done so many of them, it looks like it was intentional, which is often how I do applique on a long arm. But obviously, if you like that all to look neater, satin stitch, blanket stitch, something like that on your domestic machine, and then just do your quilting lines around it. But anyway, I made the choices I did, and I think it turned out okay. So I'm going to show you the finished quilt now. So I think it's looking very Christmassy, if I do say so myself. Pretty happy with how it turned out. And I had a good amount of tartan for the backing fabric, so that's looking Christmassy as well. For the binding, I used mostly gray and a little bit of tartan left over. I really didn't have that much, but I thought, where else was I going to use it? So you can see here that little misprint in the fleece. I'll just show you a close-up. I don't mind stuff like that. I'll still buy it. It's usually cheaper and I don't want to see it go to waste. But yeah, I get that that kind of misprint isn't everyone's cup of tea. And there is the quilt folded up at the bottom of the tree waiting for someone to win it so I can package it up and send it away to you. It has already had its first wash with no less than 9 color catchers and there was no bleed. So phew. And here is the brighter kid-friendly version. The gray on this one is fleece and the orange with pink stars is flannel. It was some leftover from the backing of another kids quilt that I did recently. So this isn't quilted yet, clearly. I prioritized the one that's getting given away, but I will do that before Christmas so the kids aren't disappointed. So you can see on this one, the 2 sort of more angular trees that aren't from the AccuQuilt die were just fussy cut from some scraps I had, went with the colors I chose. So you can really do lots with the applique depending on what you have. In order to be in with a chance to win one of the 12 quilted items, you need to watch all 12 videos and note down each quilter's secret word. So all the channel links are in the description box of this video. And you'll also find the entry form link for the competition in the video description box, but not till the 12th of December. The link is not there yet. The form will be open for 48 hours from the 12th of December to the 14th, and you need to fill out all the secret words from each of the channels to be in with a chance to win. If you want to make sure you get the form on time, there's also a link in my description box just now where you can sign up to my newsletter and I will send you the form as soon as it's live. Remember, the secret word is everyone's colors, so my secret word is red. Tomorrow's video is over on Good Goods, Elizabeth Goods channel, so make sure you check that one out.
So I hope you have a happy holiday whenever it comes. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love if you would consider it. I usually do lots of different scrappy quilts. I don't follow a whole lot of quilting rules, and I usually just have a lot of fun. So I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much for spending time with me. Bye.